Anthony Davis as we move forward by pen.
How about it?
I'm dropping the pen just like Anthony Davis keeps dropping the ball with his body or whatever the hell that reference or segue would be. I don't know, I tried, it messed up, we're gonna move forward. We don't need to linger on, we don't need to linger. Anthony Davis is always injured.
Linger?
We don't need to linger. Anthony Davis is always injured. And it's really, really frustrating, Richard.
It's very frustrating.
Because we know,
as a fellow Chicago,
somebody made an amazing point in our comment section, like a really amazing point. They made the point that 4 years ago, everybody was on board Anthony Davis. Every single person, every scout, every analyst, every fan.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, if you can draft any player right now, #1 overall, and you're gonna restart your team, it's Anthony Davis. We haven't seen anything like Anthony Davis. He played point guard when he was in high school even, and he grew to be 7 feet tall, and now he's got a jumper, and he can play inside, he can play outside, he can stretch the floor, he can play the three, he can play wing, he can play defense, it's unbelievable. Then he started getting injured.
Yep.
We're doing the same thing with Giannis. I don't ever want to see any of these guys injured. I want all these guys to be super healthy.
Of course.
But the way we talked about Anthony Davis is now the way that everybody shifted towards Giannis, and I love both of these players. However, it's not a bad knee injury. It's just the fact that he was taken out of the game. To be fair, DeMarcus Cousins came in and dominated. They lost the game, but dominated.
Yeah.
Went off for 39, 40 points, I believe. When I checked
39 and 13.
Jesus. Boogie is a monster. He really is.
He needs to get out of New Orleans. I want to see him in the playoffs.
we just got him out of Sacramento.
New Orleans isn't sniffing the playoffs this year, bro.
I know.
So,
I know they're
yeah,
not unless they get a point
Boston.
guard.
I want to see one of these guys in Boston.
Yeah, or try to get an actual point guard. So, Rick, you brought up the point before we were shooting. What are the other players that we wish just never continuously got injured?
Right, so top three, what this is, by the way, the MRI was negative, so we're waiting to hear much more from Anthony Davis. But what I thought would be interesting is giving our own, and then hearing from all of you guys in the comments, who are the top three respective, in your minds, players that their careers were stagnated because of injuries.
Right.
I will start. At we're asking for top threes, right, top threes. At number 3, who the fuck did I have? At number 3, I had to find it. It was Yao Ming, former #1 pick. And here's how his story went. In 2005, he had a left big toe injury. He had surgery in December. In 2006, he had a broken bone in his left foot. He had a left ankle stress fracture. He retired at 30. 30. You want to talk about a career being completely derailed because of injuries? Yao Ming is the embodiment. Yet, he did have one of the best commercials ever.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
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 Can I write a check?
Yo.
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 Yo. Yo.
Yo. Yo.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Yo.
Gee. Yo, gee.
Yo.
Who's your number 3? Let's go back and forth here.
Go back and forth. So so my list is not different than yours. It's just like players that I wish never got injured because I thought they would have had just amazing, even better, more amazing careers. So number 3, well, actually, I guess he wouldn't be number 3. He'd technically be #1 because he had such a great career. All these guys had pretty good careers. Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Brandon Roy,
Washington.
Washington 2006 NBA draft, and just to think of that veteran presence, obviously we don't know what would happen, like in a what if situation where the Blazers have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum now. It turned out fine. They got a great backcourt in the end, with Brandon Roy being super healthy and staying. Would that have ever turned into Damian Lillard going somewhere else? Would the team have been better? Would CJ have never come through? Would LaMarcus Aldridge? It's actually one of the most, possibly one of the bigger game-changing what ifs if Brandon Roy stayed healthy. Where's Lillard? Where's Aldridge? Where's McCollum?
Fair point. Number 2, near and dear to my heart, the former MVP, the youngest to ever win the MVP. That is
Giannis
Derrick Rose.
22 years old. How old is Rose?
Giannis is 22?
Yeah, how old is
Derrick Rose is 22.
Ooh.
When's Giannis' birthday?
I don't
you
know.
need to know everything about Giannis. You love Giannis.
When's Thon Maker's birthday? It doesn't exist.
I'm just gonna go through the amount of games that he played every single year to paint a picture.
It's painful.
First year was great.
Yes.
81.
81.
Followed by 78, followed by 81, and then it all changed with the torn ACL in 2012. against the Sixers in that first round series where they ended up losing, even though a lot of people in Chicago will always say, Derrick Rose, why was he in the game? They were up double digits with a few minutes to play in the fourth quarter. The thing is, Tom Thibodeau, the coach at the time of the Bulls, wanted to protect a lead. So in 2011, 2012, he played 39 games. 2012, 2013, did not play. 2013, 2014, 10. So on, 51, and then it picked up 66 his last season entering free agency, just saying, with Chicago. His second to last season before free agency. 66, 64, and now with Cleveland, thus far, he has played 2 games. He's already sitting out 1. Torn ACL, torn meniscus, needed knee surgery. The one thing that I will always point to is he did not finish his rehab by simply playing the fucking game. And that absolutely killed him. Is that if you want to follow the doctor's orders and you want to get all the way to the finish line and not cross, that's on you. And it's also on your brother, Reggie Rose, who has also plagued Derrick Rose's career. So Derrick Rose sitting at number 2.
Derrick Rose is possibly the number 1.
Possibly.
I'm sure your number 1 is very good as well. Steve Francis is my number 2.
Oh.
I don't think we talk about all 3 of these guys enough when it comes to like if they were never injured in a perfect world where they're all healthy. I don't think we talk about all 6 of these guys enough between both their lists. Steve Francis, the second coming of Steve Francis, is actually playing in Dallas. His name's Dennis Smith Jr. There's a lot of comparisons between those 2 players. And a lot of.
Isn't Dennis taller?
He might not be because he's got such incredible bounce. That like
so does Stevie Franchise.
I know, that's why it's like part of the comparisons, and just their games are similar. Francis was a little bit lankier, like her little skinny, appeared lankier, where Dennis Smith is more like the Russell Westbrook build.
All right, my number 1.
Hey.
My number 1 most injured player. Unfortunately, their career derailed by injuries, and we never even got to see the best of this guy. It was Greg Oden. Now I know that you alluded to Brandon Roy previously.
Okay, another Blazer.
Another Blazer. But if they drafted Kevin Durant, then it could have been an even different team. It could have been Seattle. And who knows what would have happened with Russell Westbrook. Who knows what would have happened with Kevin Durant? Who knows what would have happened with Golden State? I mean, it's true. It's a trickle-down effect, not to use a Hillary Clinton term. So my most injured player is Greg Oden. His rookie year, he injured his knee. And then when he finally debuted, he injured his foot. He returned, and then he was out for 3 weeks with the same injury. And in 6 years, he played 3 seasons, started 66, played in 105. So by my math, 82 times 7, that's 574. He played in 105 out of 574 possible games. I saw him front and center when I was when I was a student in high school doing sports broadcasting. And I was running camera when our team, Glenbrook North High School, played against his high school team that had Daquan Cook, Mike Conley, and Greg Oden. And
Jesus Christ.
I was running camera on the floor, excuse me. And I know it was high school, and his game did transcend to an even better level under Thad Matta at Ohio State. But the sheer dominance that I saw, and then seeing how we simply never got to enjoy the best of Greg Oden, it's a shame. Because I truly believe that he could have been the next best center, and the athleticism that he brought to the position was Shaq-ish. And a quick fact that a lot of people don't remember, he broke his right hand in college, shot free throws left-handed, and still shot above 70%, which is unbelievable.
Speaking of Ohio State, D'Angelo Russell went to Ohio State. D'Angelo Russell once called this guy the GOAT.
Okay.
Tracy McGrady. When asked who the greatest of all time is, D'Angelo Russell, when he got drafted, said Tracy McGrady.
It's wrong, but it's a respectable answer.
It's a great answer, man. Keep doing you, D'Angelo Russell. I'm actually a big fan. T-Mac, besides the fact that he had 2 scoring titles, and obviously Orlando Magic T-Mac was the most fun T-Mac. Yeah. And just
well, Toronto Raptors, Vince Carter, T-Mac was fun as well.
They were very different. I actually did a clip with Andre, the guy who writes for the Hoops Lab, does the RotoWire thing, who we have on regularly. We've done the conversation on Vince Carter and T-Mac, what if they stayed together? T-Mac was like a 3-and-D-ish guy for that era of Vince Carter Raptors basketball. He was a good dunker too, but he was not the scoring. Very similar to how James Harden is an entirely different specimen on the Rockets compared to who was on the Thunder. If you remember back to those Raptors teams, the T-Mac that we know and love didn't exist in Toronto. There was the signs for it, and he left and went to Orlando and Houston. I think he was a Knick for 11 games. And it just wasn't. They were different. They were different players. Trace McGrady became that dominant mid-range scoring force with the Magic and with the Rockets. Before that, he wasn't.